On October 20th, 2025, the Australian rock world, and every fan who's ever belted along to a riff that felt like rebellion wrapped in velvet, lost a true powerhouse, Virginia Lillye. The fearless frontwoman whose voice could shatter glass or mend hearts with equal ease, passed away at the too young age of 56 after a grueling 2-year battle with advanced ovarian cancer. Diagnosed with stage 3 in June 2023 after symptoms dismissed as minor woes, a bloated belly, nagging pains, she underwent brutal rounds of chemo, a 12-hour surgery with 16 procedures, and a brief remission in early 2024, only for the cancer to roar back by summer, demanding more chemo tablets, targeted therapy every 3 weeks, and a fight she faced with the same unyielding grit that defined her on stage. She slipped away peacefully at home in Sydney, surrounded by the love she poured into others, her husband Julian by her side as always, the man who'd shave his head in solidarity when chemo stole hers, their 8-year marriage a quiet rock in the storm. Tributes poured in like an encore, Dawn Spencer calling her an absolute showstopper, her band Lillye hailing their quintessential rock goddess, and fans flooding her Instagram with hearts and harmonies. One writing, "Your voice was our armor, rest in power, Vinny." It's a loss that aches like a power chord unresolved, but for a woman who turned pain into anthems, let's not linger in the minor key. Let's crank up her fire, the Sydney siren who made rock feel like family. To cue up at the opening riff, imagine the sun-soaked sprawl of Sydney's northern beaches in the mid-1960s, where Virginia Lillye drew her first breath around 1969, the exact date a private harmony she kept close. Growing up in a world where the harbor's hum met the raw edge of suburbia, her family a quiet chorus of everyday Aussies who fueled her fire without stealing the spotlight. Parents unnamed in the public playlist, but they were the unsung roadies. Working folks whose love for music echoed in family sing-alongs to the Stones and Zeppelin, nurturing a girl whose voice would soon shatter stages. Siblings? A subtle backing band, part of that tight-knit Sydney tribe where barbecues became jam sessions, her early years a mix of schoolyard scrappiness and beachside dreams. Picking up the guitar at 12 and belting blues by 15 in smoky pubs that felt like forbidden freedoms. No formal conservatory polish, it was the grit of Sydney's rock underbelly that shaped her, busking on Bondi sidewalks, crashing garage gigs with mates, her raw, raspy timbre turning heads by her late teens. The 1980s were her awakening, fronting garage bands that scraped by on pub circuits, honing a hard rock howl that blended Janis Joplin's ache with Pat Benatar's bite, until the 90s birthed Lillye. Her eponymous band signed to US label Eclipse Records in 2012, dropping Leather and Leopard that year with tracks like Kill Shot that roared with defiance and desire. Global tours followed, sharing bills with Gene Simmons of Kiss, his Firecracker, Not a Badge of Honor, Richie Kotzen of Poison, Gilby Clarke of Guns N' Roses, and Aussie icons like John Butler, Wendy Matthews, and the Angels' Bob Spencer. Her stage a storm of sweat and swagger, leather-clad and unapologetic. The Voice Australia in 2020 was her primetime prime. At 51, Boy George's team pick, her blind audition cover of Call Me a Sultry Storm that turned chairs and turned heads, landing her in the top 20 with performances that fused rock's roar with soul's depth. Awards trickled in, Himig Hondog nods for songwriting, Eclipse acclaim for Lillye, and that 2015 I Touch Myself campaign honoring Chrissy Amphlett, her voice one of 9 raising breast cancer awareness with raw, rallying power. Virginia wasn't chasing Grammys, she was claiming stages, from Sydney dives to international dives, her husky howl and Hellcat energy proving rock wasn't a boys' club, it was hers to conquer. At the heart of every blistering solo and sold-out set, though, was family, that unbreakable backline keeping the beat steady through the breakdowns and breakthroughs, even in a life lived loud but loved quietly. Virginia's circle stayed close-knit and camera-shy, her parents the original roadies who'd pack her first guitar case and cheer from the pub's back wall, their everyday Aussie grit the groove that grounded her flights of fancy. No siblings spotlighted in the set list, but they were the subtle section, part of that Sydney family fabric where Christmases met carols around the Barbie, her voice leading the charge to carols with a rock twist. The real harmony hit in 2017 when she met Julian, her insanely indestructible husband, their 8-year marriage a masterclass in rock-solid support. He shaved his head when chemo claimed hers in 2023, held her hand through sepsis scares and staph infections post-surgery, and stood by as she celebrated their anniversary in 2025 amid recurrence, posting a photo of them beaming, her caption a love letter, "I'd be a complete mess without you." No kids in the liner notes, but their home was a haven of two, filled with the kind of love that turned hospital vigils into vow renewals, Julian her constant co-vocalist through the cancer's cruel crescendo. Extended kin wove in two, the band Lillye as chosen siblings, their tribute calling her "Our Sweet Vinny," with a love deeper than blood, fans and fellow rockers like Dawn Spencer, who'd fundraise with her for kids' music foundations, becoming surrogate uncles in the scene. Losses came hard, the cancer's quiet creep a thief in the night, but family was the remix that rallied. Julian's unwavering arm her anchor through Israel vacations turned treatment trips, their bond the bridge from beach gigs to bedside grace. It wasn't a tabloid tango, it was tender ties, the kind where a wife's whisper, "You're my showstopper," outshone any spotlight, proving love's the fiercest frontwoman of all. That love amplified her lifestyle too, a rock and roll rhythm of raw energy and rooted warmth that felt as Aussie as a backyard Barbie, fierce yet familial, where the hum of a rehearsal space outshone the haze of high life. Virginia and Julian nested in Sydney's northern beaches, a cozy harborside home turned creative crash pad, walls splashed with tour posters and guitar picks, a well-worn amp in the corner humming to half-written hooks. The air scented with Julian's barbecued snacks while she strummed to the harbor's hum. No sprawling estates or imported indulgences. Her net worth settled around $500,000 to $1 million at the end, a modest melody from band royalties, leather and leopards enduring Eclipse sales, voice residuals, jingle gigs like the 2016 Inquirer campaign, and songwriting shares from Himig Hondog wins funds funneled into family adventures and quiet cancer fundraisers, not flashy fleets. Mornings kicked off with coastal coffee, black brew on the balcony overlooking the waves, her fingers warming on guitar strings with a quick riff to chase the dawn, Julian joining for a jog along the shore that sparked lyrics about life's low notes. Afternoons? The grind of gigs and ghostwriting, co-penning for Yang Constantino or crafting Eclipse demos in a Sydney studio, her ukulele a constant companion for those lifted, lighter vibes. Even post-chemo when energy ebbed, she'd coach from the couch. Evenings unwound with whimsy, family drives to the Blue Mountains for hikes that fueled folkier fire, or goofy dances in the living room to her own tracks, Julian filming the fails for Instagram laughs that rallied fans during remissions. Health was intuitive till the illness struck. Yoga flows for flexibility after long sets, a pescatarian lean with the occasional Lamington cheat for fundraisers, no vices beyond the occasional Shiraz after a sold-out show. Until cancer clipped the tempo, turning hospital halls into her new harmony, Julian by her side for every 4 drip and scan. Travel was the tour's light lift, low-key jaunts to Israel in 2023, where symptoms first stirred, or US hops for Eclipse promo, always with Julian, their suitcases stuffed with song sheets over souvenirs. Philanthropy was her power chord, the I Touch Myself campaign a rallying cry for women's health, fundraisers for the Australian Children's Music Foundation where she'd perform through pain, her 2020 voice run a platform for quiet causes. Politically understated, she leaned into unity through rock, but lived it light, volunteering at Sydney youth camps without the spotlight. It was a life of joyful jams, the thunder of applause yielding to the hush of home, where fortune favored the feels over the flash, and every hook hummed with heart. But the riffs and remembrances, those vivid vignettes that capture Virginia's vibe, the frontwoman whose fire wrapped around real aches, turning stages and setbacks into stories we'll sing forever. Take her voice-blind audition in 2020, at 51, belting "Call Me" with a gravelly growl that flipped Boy George's chair first, She'd laugh post-show over fish and chips with Julian. Thought I'd be too old for the spotlight, turns out I was just warming up. Or the Eclipse signing in 2012, holed up in LA with the band, cutting leather and leopard till dawn. She quipped to the producer, "We're not just rock, we're the rumble after the rain," birthing tracks like Kill Shot that stormed charts and stages with Gene Simmons, who'd later call her a force that could melt amps. Family flashes warmed deepest, shaving Julian's head in 2023 during her first chemo round, turning a tearful Tuesday into a tattooed-together triumph, her Instagram post beaming, "Bald and beautiful, my rock, my rhythm." Or Blue Mountains getaways with the clan, strumming originals to the echo of eucalypts, her mom nodding, "That's the voice we heard in the cradle, love." She'd chuckle about the Himig Hondog win in 2016, Dalawang Letra, grand prize, interpreted by Itchy Worms, but hey, 2 letters? That's all it takes to spell win in rock. Regrets? The Cancer's cruel cadence, silent thief, loud thief, but she spun it into streams of strength. Her final gig in September 2025, a defiant duet with Julian, whispering off mic, "One more chorus for the crowd." Even at 56, teasing a voice comeback, she'd DM Yang Constantino, "One more hook for the healed." Tributes today, from Spencer's Loveliest Soul to the band's Queen Eternal, pour like a power ballad. Her $500,000 to $1 million, a whisper next to the revolutions she rocked, the hearts she headlined, the way her howl still haunts the harbors. As we let Virginia Lillye's legendary legacy linger, from Sydney's shores to eternal encores, I hope it stirs the rocker in you, a belt of "Call Me" to toast the titan, a fiercer hold on your own harmony, or simply dancing goofy to her Fire one more time. She turned screams into symphonies, proving rock's the roar we all need. If her fire flickered in you, hit like to keep the riff rolling, and subscribe for more spotlights on the souls who staged too soon. What's your Virginia vibe? Thanks for the set, rock on, and take care.